This is Saints 4 Takeaways, sponsored by Rouse's Markets, the official supermarket of the Saints.
When the season is over, I think we're going to look back at this game as the one that ultimately knocked the Saints out of playoff contention. The fact is, they were extreme long shots when Darren Rizzi took over, and expecting perfection, which is just about what it would have taken, was certainly asking too much. But Sunday in the Superdome, the Saints were beaten by an average team, and this is the game that ended Taysom Hill's season. I certainly hope he hasn't played his last game in black and gold, and depending on how the Saints decide to reshuffle their roster, it is certainly possible that he has. His evolution has been incredible to see. He's been one of the most fun players to watch, I think, in Saints history. Let's start our 4 takeaways with this. The game felt like a December rerun because it was. Last December, the Saints were on a 2-game winning streak when they played the Rams, and LA crushed whatever playoff hopes the Saints had with an 8-point win. This December, the Saints were on a 2-game winning streak when they played the Rams, and LA crushed whatever playoff hopes the Saints have with a 7-point win. Matthew Stafford threw 2 touchdowns in December of 23, and he threw for 2 touchdowns in December of 24. Puka Nacua caught one of those TD passes in 23, and he caught one of those TD passes in 24. Demarcus Robinson caught the other TD pass in 23, and he caught the other one in 24. And Kyren Williams rushed for the 3rd LA touchdown in 23, and he did it again in 24. In fact, Kyren Williams had exactly 104 yards rushing in each game. Bottom line, Sean McVay had the Saints defense off balance in the exact same way in both games. At number 3, overlooked in the loss, Alvin Kamara was just brilliant again. Kamara did have a couple of drop passes, but he also had 27 touches for 119 yards. In a season in which Derek Carr has missed games, so has Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, Taysom Hill, Eric McCoy, and Cesar Ruiz. These are probably your 6 most valuable offensive players besides Kamara. Alvin Kamara has not only played in all 12 games, he's gotten the ball 265 times this season. That's second most in the NFL. And just a side note, the NFL has been devaluing running backs for the past few years now. Those 3 guys were all big money free agent signings who have delivered for their new teams in a big way. Kamara is 29, having the best season of his NFL career, and whatever the Saints do next year, Kamara will be part of it, and that is a good thing. At number 2, you know what does need to change in 25? The Saints' run defense. The Saints were absolutely run over by the Rams. They ran it for 156 yards Sunday. Kyren Williams averaged nearly 7 yards a carry, which is just unacceptable, and that set up all of their play-action passing. Fixing the run defense in the offseason has to be a priority. Right now, the Saints are 26th in that category in the NFL. And at number 1, it would literally take a miracle for the Saints to get into the playoffs. It would take a 5-game winning streak, and they'd still have to get help. 2 games back in the division doesn't sound like a lot, but the Saints are 2 games behind 2 different teams with only 5 to go. Now they do get the New York Giants this weekend, who are the only team in the NFC mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. So the Saints should stay alive for another week, but barely. Right now, the New York Times has the Saints' playoff chances at less than 1%. In the "Is Darren Rizzi the long-term answer" debate, this one does not shine favorably on Rizzi, but we've still got 5 more weeks to see how this debate plays out. And that's my 4 takeaways from the loss to the Rams.